Welcome to Prophetic TV, where destinies are discovered and decorated by the power of the prophetic and for the glory of God. I am bringing to you part 2 of our series titled, It Cannot End Like This. It cannot end like this. Now, in part 1, we talk about the fact that you have to wake up and tell yourself, this is not the last bus stop. This is not where it ends. I have the capacity and the capability of going forward, of going somewhere. And therefore, I have to push myself until I get to the destination. Now, in part 2, we are bringing you to another level, to a next step. And this next step means that you have to take another level of understanding into consideration in order for you to be able to cancel that which has said that you have to remain in the same place, that which has said that you have to be tied in one place. So in part 2, we want to unveil and to reveal to you the power and the grace of making a difference. So when you have discovered that you cannot remain where you are, things must happen differently, things must change, you must wake up and make a difference. So in this part 2, we'll title it, Do Something Different. So tell yourself, I got to do something different. Do something different. Do something you have not done before. Do something different. They say the definition of insanity is for you to do something over and over and expect that you're going to get different results. So you have to wake up and change things around you. Take a step of faith. Take a step of faith. Now, we can reference the book of Luke. If you look into the book of Luke chapter 15, from verse 11, read downwards. You're going to read the story of the lost son. Some people call it the prodigal son. It's a very, very interesting story. In verse 17, when this guy had gone and squandered all that the father had given him, the Bible says that he found himself eating with pigs, eating the remains of what the pigs have already eaten. This is somebody that is treated in his father's house as a prince. This is somebody that has everything at his beck and call, but he wallowed away into perdition. He left his original place and he was somewhere. I don't know if this is resonating with somebody that finds himself in a place where he thinks that it's not supposed to be. I want to tell you that this is not it. It cannot end like this. You cannot end like that. It cannot end like that for you. There must be a change. There must be a difference. There must be a turnaround. And as God has led you here, we are bent on discovering and decorating destinies by the power of the prophetic and by visiting your past, your present, and forecasting into your future to ensure that that which is written concerning you in the books of destiny is fulfilled in your life. That God will give us the grace to tap it and bring it down for you as you collaborate, cooperate, and participate with us. We are destiny decorators. That is what we have put ourselves out here by the grace of God to do. Now, how do you make a difference? Or how do you do something different? The thing that you got to do is for you to change whatever you are doing and do something new. Don't be hooked up only on what you are doing. Try something that you have not tried before. So the Bible says in that story that I referenced in verse 17 that when he had come to his senses, when the prodigal son had come to his senses, he told himself, how many servants are there in my father's house that when I say, hey, come here, they come? Why would I not go and become a servant in my father's house, and at least I'll be able to eat a good meal than to sit here and become a slave and eat with the pigs? But the Bible says that when he went, and presented himself as somebody that is broken, as somebody that is at fault, and he humbled himself. His father even promoted him and took him into his arms. Now, I want you to know that until you come to that point where the prodigal son came and came to his senses and say, hey, I cannot end here. I am going to do something that is difficult to do, but I'm going to do it. I know that before I left the house, I told my father, hey, I'm going to make it out there. I don't need your help. You've already given me what belongs to me. I'll just go out there, and I'll be fine. But he said, no, let me swallow my shame. Let me swallow my shame. How many of us have allowed pride to destroy us, to hold us bound, and to keep us stagnated? How many of us have allowed fear of shame, fear of what people will say, fear of how people will regard at us? You have to throw away those things and do something different. Wake up and do something different. Now, I know that it's so difficult for people to take new steps. If you are not somebody that is called to break fallow grounds, it's always very difficult for you to take new steps. But this is the comfort that I'll give you. This is the soft landing that I want to help you with. Before you take the new step, seek for counsel. Seek for counsel. So counseling is going to help you to take that new step safely. There are people that take risks more than others. There are people that wake up and do things without people telling them. But there are some that cannot. So now if you are a slow starter, I will let you start safely by visiting a counselor. That counselor might be a pastor. That counselor might be a lawyer. That counselor might be somebody that is close to you. It might be a friend, might be an elderly person, but seek the counsel of somebody that is even in an area that you are looking at, admiring, and want to get into. But seek counseling